Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube page, where I'll be previewing every bowl game here of the college bowl season. 35 bowls in all, 2 of them in the books as of now, and the third bowl game will take place this Thursday, December 20th, and it's the Poinsettia Bowl, pitting Brigham Young versus San Diego State. The Brigham Young Cougars come in with a record of 7-5 overall, and San Diego State, out of the Mountain West Conference, comes in with a record of 9-3. These two teams, just to get you up to speed on these two teams, first and foremost, BYU's rushing defense is something to take note of. One of the tops in the country. The BYU defense as a whole only letting up a little bit over 14 points a game. Of note as well as the quarterback situation for BYU. Riley Nelson was the quarterback most of the season. Senior James Lark relieved Riley Nelson in the last game against New Mexico threw 6 touchdowns in a dominating win over New Mexico State. And James Lark, it looks as though, will get the start here in the Poinsettia Bowl. So that's definitely something to be on the lookout for. And also, San Diego State comes into this game with a vaunted rushing attack, 2,750 yards overall on the season as a team, eclipsing the total yardage rushing mark that was set by the early 90s Marshall Faulk San Diego State teams. So you have a case where you have a high-powered rushing offense versus a stifling rushing defense. So I think very much that battle will determine how this game goes. You have 2 coaches that are very familiar with each other in Rocky Long and Bronco Mendenhall. Mendenhall actually served as Rocky Long's defensive coordinator for 5 years at New Mexico. So from that perspective, and from the perspective that these two teams are old rivals, I don't think you'll see much in the way of unfamiliarity between these two teams. Sometimes in bowl games, teams being unfamiliar with each other can be a huge issue, but this is one of those unique matchups in the Poinsettia Bowl here where it doesn't look like that's going to be an issue. What may be an issue for San Diego State is the fact that along with scoring a little bit over 32 points a game, they also give up around 25 points a game. And I look for them to have trouble with freshman running back from BYU, Jamal Williams, and also with their junior receiver, Cody Hoffman. Hoffman has over 90 catches for over 1,100 yards and over 10 touchdowns. I look for them to have trouble with Hoffman. I look for them to have trouble with the freshman running back, Jamal Williams, who has really started to peak and pick his game up here in the last half of the season. And in these bowl games, as we saw with Utah State in their bowl game is against Toledo, is that a lot of times these defenses in these bowl games tend to have a little bit of an advantage anyway early on because of the long layoffs these teams have had. And when you add to it the fact that the defenses are good anyway, I think a good defense in a bowl game a lot of times will win out over a good offense, surely because of the time it takes a good offense to get going a lot of times after a long break. Defense tends to be more consistent here coming off of a 2-3 week layoff like these teams have had. So right now the line sits at BYU -3. I like Lark being a senior, Lark finally getting his opportunity to play. I like him to really relish this opportunity and not take it for granted. I like what I saw from BYU in the one full game I watched them play against Notre Dame. I also did have the opportunity to watch San Diego State play twice this season. Very impressed with their rushing attack, but I also get nervous if things are in the hands of their quarterback. If BYU takes the rushing attack away, can their quarterback do enough to win the game? And in my opinion, I don't think he can. So I look for BYU to come out and actually, play better on offense than people might expect. I think there's so much focus on their defense that I think their offense will sort of sneak up on San Diego State, who doesn't have a good defense to begin with. So I actually like BYU -3 to win the Poinsettia Bowl here. So I like Bronco Mendenhall to beat his mentor, Rocky Long, in this game. But this should be a fun matchup, and if you have a chance, I definitely recommend watching this game. You get two teams that know each other, two teams that are old rivals that are going to come out very motivated in this game. You won't have to worry about, oh man, are these two teams going to come out motivated? Do they think they have something to play for? I think you get the best effort out of both these teams, and I honestly think a game like this is what the bowl season is all about. So I like BYU -3 in the Poinsettia Bowl. Be sure to check out my other previews here on YouTube. Subscribe to my page. I upload a video. You get it right to your inbox. Doesn't get any easier than that. Thanks, guys, and have a good night.